And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcoming the live audience back to join us for Torn Tuesday. This is theonering.net, forged by the fans and for the fans of J.R.R. Tolkien. I am Clifford Broadway, and I welcome you once again to our very lively, and I hope edifying, we hope to have you at least a little bit more edified and informed and perhaps a little bit tickled. Maybe you'll be a little bit more anxious. We don't know. But at the end of the show, we hope that you're going to have all the feels. We're going to talk about the big stuff that dropped with Empire Magazine, with The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power TV series coming very soon, September 2nd. And then right here, next to me, almost incognito, I would say almost in stealth mode, is my most excellent co-host and producer, the man behind the technical curtain. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce Justin to our show, Torn Tuesday. Welcome.
Oh my God, Cliff! It's great to be here. It's great to see you guys. Man, there's been so much. There have been so many opinions. I have got my rain jacket on. We are raining down opinions.
It's raining. It's definitely raining.
Everything that we can think of with Rings of Power. So I'm wearing my official Rings of Power jacket because I am overwhelmed with the comments that are happening on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And here with us, at Scum and Villainy, we're live on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook Live. So we're watching. We've got a chat room right here, and we're going to be watching the chat and everything like that.
Multiple chat rooms. We have a group of people here on this one universal chat, which is literally bringing you all in from different social channels and different social platforms, so we can see everybody all at once. Facebook, Twitter, there's also Discord. Let us not forget. Very lively. I've been missing out. I'm guilty. I apologize to you, Varking, Runesong, and to those followers who've left me messages. I have to get back to Discord.
We are overwhelmed in DMs from people with blue check marks and people that are on staff and people that are just casual fans that are just coming in like, is this for real? Well, we're going to tell you what's real or not, but let me see if this camera will work. Let's go here. Oh, sweet. This is working.
That's hilarious.
Folks, if you didn't notice, these are official Lord of the Rings glasses.
Lord of the Rings sunglasses with the Elven ring verse. The ring verse from the One Ring on the outside temple handles of the...
I wonder if it'll focus. It's trying to focus on my eyes.
I'm telling you.
This is official Lord of the Rings merch. There's a Warner Brothers logo. Oh, yeah. Let me hold this.
Back further. Just a little bit. There you go. Now back another further. A little bit more. There you go.
Yeah. All right. So anyway.
That's the best you're going to get.
These are really fun UV protected sunglasses. It's summertime. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I've got a second pair here. Still in the box. No, they did not send me this for free. I'm spending my fake Amazon money that I got for shilling the show to buy you a pair of sunglasses.
Funny.
So here's the deal. Here's how we're going to give this away, Cliff.
Oh, it's a giveaway.
It's a giveaway. I'm going to give away this pair. I will ship worldwide, except Saudi Arabia because it's like $200. But I will ship almost every other country. So... here's what I want to do.
Okay. This is what's happening. It is raining, like you just said a second ago.
It is raining in opinions.
And when I say, honestly, when it rains, it pours. So it's pouring.
And we're getting a shot. We're getting the shine of the show in our eyes. And so you need UV protection.
You need UV protection for your eyeballs.
Here's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I've got a phone here. And I'm going to press this button right here. That brings up my hotline. That's really my phone number, 530-64-FRODO.
That's it.
That's really my phone number. It goes right to this phone.
That is the hotline.
Text this phone. I don't want you to call.
The hotline for the One Ring
to text this phone. And if you want to win this pair of sunglasses, I will ship them to you. But you have to text me something positive and exciting about the pictures that you have seen this week from Empire Magazine.
Tell us what lights all the lights on your tree about these images and these. Yeah, what turns on the lights?
What made you? What of these pictures? What makes you more excited for the show? Could it be that the Harfoots look better than you ever imagined? Could it be that Celebrimbor looks like you pictured in your imagination? Could it be that the photos that you've seen are closer to what you imagined when reading the books? I don't know. Text me something positive.
Could it be that you're an architecture freak and you're thinking, wow, who built that tower out there in the middle of nowhere? That's cool.
Yeah. So 530-64-FRODO, the phone number on the screen right now. And if you text me some positive vibes, I will read them during the show, and then I will choose a winner and text you back that you've won them. Okay? Is that the deal? All right, let's go back to the main camera.
That's hilarious. Yes, so now the hotline is open, and he's going to be looking at his text messages at the end of the show, and we'll read back to everyone at the end of the broadcast some of the most inspiring answers.
Inspiring indeed.
We're looking for inspiration. So if there's something that has inspired you and turned on the lights in your Christmas tree, then let's talk about that.
This is a hot jacket under the hot
Justin,
lights.
I have to admit, the new level of hilarity, the new level of hilarity with our show is wonderful. But you know what? You tweeted something a little while ago.
Did I?
Yeah.
What did I tweet?
It was something about surprise little something that you didn't tell me about.
Oh, that's right. You know what? we've got
spy
so
report.
much.
A certain spy report came. Boy, do we have news for you. There's a spy report that came
We've got so much to talk about on this show. Let me give you that. Let's not wait. All right, Cliff. I haven't told you what our new spy report is. This has nothing to do with the photos. Folks,
I've been begging to know, but he won't tell me these things.
I've been hinting at how important the MGM deal Amazon just made is to their Lord of the Rings project. And
yes.
And Cliff, if you remember, what rights does MGM have in relation to Middle-earth?
Well, this goes back to why the Hobbit film production was stalled for so long. It was because Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer held the theatrical distribution rights for the Hobbit film. And ultimately, if they didn't figure out the problems...
Any Hobbit film.
Any Hobbit film. Period.
Wait, you said distribution.
Theatrical distribution.
Wait, so that means MGM could not produce a movie. They could only...
Distribute
it.
And because of that problem with New Line Cinema was going to end up making a film for millions and millions of dollars. And then if MGM said no... not going to get it distributed, then New Line would have wasted all their time and everyone's money on a film that could not be distributed. So we're getting back to the idea that Amazon Studios very recently has purchased and acquired, gotten their hands on those
MGM.
rights.
And MGM includes James Bond, includes
Yes,
Wizard
it does.
of Oz,
Oh,
includes the history of Hollywood. Basically.
A significant film library. A film library like no other.
But we're going to focus on why did the reason I think Jeff Bezos bought MGM is because there were Hobbit rights.
Yes.
And so you're saying the Hobbit rights that MGM included, that Amazon now owns, is for theatrical distribution.
Yes, that's right. Theatrical distribution. That's why it was so important for New Line Cinema to re-enter negotiations with MGM so the Hobbit trilogy could be theatrically put out there for all of us to see in theaters.
Well,
yes.
I am excited to report that the latest Green Dragon gossip rumors that we have are Amazon is currently negotiating with theaters nationwide and around the world to distribute the 2-part, 2-hour pilot of Rings of Power in cinemas worldwide.
Okay. All right. That
you will be able to watch
make sense now.
J.A. Bayona's
that makes sense.
Epic directorial debut.
They don't want you sitting at home for that.
No, they want you
on the big screen in the theaters.
And I am
I
am told that one of the distributors, one of the theatrical chains, have said that something along the lines of Amazon was so impressed with the influencer reaction of assembling the 30 influencers in London and seeing everybody watch it together, watched the footage together. They were so impressed with it. They came back from London and they said, you know what? We want people to see this together as fans in a controlled lighting environment.
Okay, so that
in the
means
best way possible.
Does that mean we get to have big parties around the country and have screening parties?
We're talking screening parties, watch parties, line parties in person at your local cinema.
That means all right. That also means that they have a lot of confidence in J.A. Bayona's work.
People in the chat room, man, I got to bring up this chat.
Don't you think this actually speaks about their confidence in Mr. Bayona's work in a way?
We should all be confident in Bayona's work and the work of the A-list writers' room, but especially Bayona, who people are now calling who directed the best of the Jurassic World franchise.
Thank you.
So everyone is saying
thank you. Better than Joe Dante and his film.
Better. I don't know.
Okay.
Colin Trevorrow did the new one, but they're saying...
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
People are saying that Bayona's Jurassic World was better. And, of course, Bayona found Tom Holland and put him in the Ewan McGregor movie.
Yeah.
Speaking of Kenobi, who's out. So that is the current Green Dragon gossip. Now, negotiations can fall apart at any minute now. Amazon may want a cut of the sales. That doesn't work out for theaters. But we're told
any number of things like that.
Any number of things can go wrong. But we have heard that this isn't just a Fathom event, at select cinemas on a Tuesday night. You guys know what a Fathom event is. It's like on a weird night of the week. And
that's when Fathom events will rent a theater just for their own private screening, and they'll do an event and charge separate tickets for it. Yeah,
we're talking. This will be a regular theatrical rollout, and it is possible because Amazon has purchased MGM and now has some exclusive theatrical distribution rights.
Hello, Kurdish. Kurdish LOTR nerd. Hello, Kurdish LOTR nerd. We did not yet talk about when the trailer is going to come out, but we'll speculate on that.
We'll speculate
in a minute.
So Cliff, as you know, and we've talked about on the show, when the Tolkien estate sold the rights to Amazon, they only included TV rights. So up to now,
that's right.
It has been off the table of any theatrical release of anything to do with this show. It's not been possible from a legal standpoint, from a contract standpoint, absolutely not. The Tolkien estate was very specific that Amazon was only buying TV rights. They cannot make movies. They cannot make anything for theaters.
This is an opportunity for them to trumpet their confidence in the director and his work, because those first 2 episodes, we always talked about this a long, long time ago. And this kind of validates our reporting that they're going to treat the opening 2 episodes as a standalone feature type of concept. And that is in terms of home video, like if they release something in home video later on, that's the easiest thing for them to release quickly and cash in on it. It also is a way for them to increase buzz. If there's a lot of fans going to the theaters just for the theatrical experience, then that will give them a barometer on reading what the other waves of popularity will be for their show. Like a litmus test.
What they're telling theater owners is that this show does not look like any other fantasy TV show. And you guys know what I'm talking about, because a lot of the internet discourse has been around, it looks like Wheel of Time, it looks like The Witcher. Amazon is presenting footage, some of which we saw in London, and we'll be able to talk about that more soon.
Some of which you saw in London.
But what Amazon is promising theater owners is a show, a 2-hour pilot that is self-contained, has a full, complete story, and it feels and looks cinema quality. This is not putting a TV show on the big screen. You're going to. It looks like a movie, and I can tell you, it looks like a movie. I think we've reported on that. The footage that we've seen does look cinematic. It does not look like The Witcher and The Wheel of Time. This looks cinematic.
Hello, Brian. Hello, Brian Martin in the chat. Great to see you. I appreciate you guys being here to support us. And to all the other lovely, lovely audience members in the chat. Hello, Leah. Hello, everybody. And I know that there's Dr. Nosy, there's King David, and I'm sure
everybody's here.
Facebook, Princess
YouTube.
Nerd Girl is in there, I'm sure. Now, take a moment. Do you think that we can confirm this in the next month or so, or in the next few weeks, that the deal with MGM is for real?
The MGM deal is done.
Oh, it's done.
The MGM deal is done. In fact, this last weekend, Amazon invited all of MGM's employees to the Amazon studios in Culver City for a welcome party. It's done. They had their official family party this weekend.
Well, the purpose for that is because they want those MGM rights. Obvious. It's really an obvious connection. Well, so that's why we're reporting on this. Well, it also makes me think, on the other side of the coin, what if they just... Oh, never mind. I'm not even going to go to...
Yeah.
I'm not even going to go there. Not even going to go there. I was thinking something else entirely.
So, Cliff, we've seen some photos, some sneak peeks that Empire's releasing in preparation for their big reveal article, which comes out this Thursday.
Boy, did the interwebs go crazy today.
There are 4 covers. Yes. There's a Galadriel cover. There's a Harfoot cover. There is, I forget the third one. And then there's the John Howe sketch covered. So let me ask
that's my personal favorite is the John Howe one. Yeah.
Well, Cliff, we have so many photos to talk about.
Let's go.
So let's start with this one.
Okay.
Right? Let's go to this camera. Okay. What do you think, Cliff? What are we looking at, and why isn't Amazon giving us any context for this photo?
They haven't given us any context for any of the character posters or any of the photos.
Okay.
So that's par for the course. The bigger question is, why are they not giving us any context on any of these things at all? Well, it fuels fan speculation. We are left with lots of speculation about where this tower is and where they might be looking out from.
Well, so first off, let's talk about where this is. What do you think you're looking at, Cliff?
I was intrigued when I looked at Twitter and I saw that Sean Gunnar, the head of the Tolkien Society, had suggested that this was not far from the Glanduin River, and that this is the Misty Mountains. And I'm like, where? I thought to myself, where would an elvish outpost have a tower that tall?
And it looks like, and there's a river and stuff like that. So if we go up to the map, you're saying Misty Mountains?
No, Sean Gunnar thought that it would be somewhere around here. Somewhere around.
Edit.
Yeah. Are you going to zoom in? Oh, we got a markup pen. We're going to mark this up. Zoom in.
So you're thinking right around here.
That was the suggestion that Sean had.
The head of the Tolkien Society said, "This is the Misty Mountains. Where is Hobbiton in relation?" Well, this is a map of the Second Age.
Where is Hobbiton? Okay. Hobbiton was originally here. Oh, no, that's Weathertop. This wooded area, all right here, would eventually become the Shire.
Okay.
All of that would become the Shire.
So, over the Misty Mountains cold, this is what the dwarves sing. They go over here, and this is what they sang about here. And so
yes, that's the Misty Mountains they sang about right there. That is correct.
Was that called the Misty Mountains in the Second Age?
The Hithelgir. Here it is. And I'm sorry, the Hith-Eglir.
That's the name of this mountain.
In Elvish, the Hith-Eglir. Yes.
Hith-Eglir.
Yes. Now, there's a lot of other ideas and speculation online that could be just as likely as anything else.
Okay.
That it might be, somewhere in the south, the southern areas of not Mordor, but
this clearly could be Mordor.
You mean before Sauron moved into it and made it Mordor?
But yeah, because look,
I don't know about that.
You've got a mountain range on the right, and you've got some mountains going on the left. So let's see if we go into the edit, right? So you've got this long mountain range on the right, and then you've got this kind of mountain range coming, sprinkling in here.
Okay.
That aligns with these two things right there. Okay, but the interesting thing about this is
I don't know about that.
If you really zoom in, it looks like this is a sea. This is a sea line right here. There is a big sea right there.
Or a large inland lake, maybe?
Or a large inland lake.
Okay, so there's speculation that might be the Sea of Nirn.
This is the river. And if you look at this, there's a big sea.
Yes.
And then
so yes, it could be from southern area of Mordor, where there's maybe a watchtower right here. Could be. It's quite possible, because it could be looking at, the shape of the mountains here and along here.
Is the scale too small for Mordor? Do you think this photo?
I have an interesting feeling that the other theories about it being further south are more interesting. The other theories about it being even further south.
So this is the Amazon map that John Howe drew. Now let's go to the area of Mordor. This isn't Mordor yet.
It's not Mordor yet. That's right.
But you can see that there's still a lake, and there's still a river, and there's an outcropping of mountains coming out here.
Yes.
So I would place this watchtower right in the right at the edge of the river right there. We can't draw on this part.
We can't draw on this part? Okay.
So that's it. That's the strongest consideration I have. Ooh, we're not going to show that yet.
Interesting concept. Do you know what? All the speculation is going to be satisfied on September 2nd or whenever that episode is aired.
Oh, you're talking like a shill. But tell me.
Oh, yeah, I'm talking like a shill for sure. But no.
Why would Mordor look like this? Is this true to the Second Age?
Because it was not occupied with and destroyed by Sauron's forces. In the southern lands of Mordor, there was arable land. It was not a volcanic plateau. Literally, the volcanism that was evident in the plateau of Gorgoroth, near Orodruin, Mount Doom, as it is known, all that volcanism was not prevalent in the far, far southern regions of Mordor, which is where Sauron had to have instituted a type of dry land farming and some type of agriculture so he could feed his armies that he would later build. So it is not outside the grasp of imagination, really, that all of this could be, more fertile, arable land. Exactly what Cecilia says. Sauron didn't redecorate the place yet.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what she's saying. Yeah.
So I guess the ultimate question is, because is the concept of this photo true to Tolkien?
I would have no idea until I had more context.
All right, but
I cannot even begin to answer that unless I have more context.
Let me rephrase
about where this image is from.
Let me rephrase.
There's no trees.
If this is Mordor, are you okay with that as a Tolkien lover, expert, published author? Does this make sense from Tolkien's writings that this would be Mordor?
No, to be quite honest, I think this is a Númenórean location. My gut instinct is completely not even looking at Middle-earth. I think this is a Númenórean distant location, not one of the major cities. I think it's an outpost on one of the Númenórean areas that faces towards Valinor. I think this might be the area of the island where the faithful, the people, Elendil and his sons, who were faithful to the Valar and the Eldar, it might be a Númenórean side view looking to the east. I think that's just, okay. Lady Nico says that's Arondir. That's Arondir.
All right,
here.
well.
Okay, so let's go with that. Let's go with that.
Staff member Tukish assembled some comments from our Discord, which you can go to Discord /The One Ring, discord.gg/The One Ring. And here are some of the comments that he pulled from the Discord.
It's Aaron. Thank you, everybody. So we've got the full. All right, what is the full background? I want to ask just what the people in the chat are saying.
Okay, so
is this going to be backstory for Arondir?
Yeah, well let's figure out what our Discord was saying.
Okay.
So they're asking about the architecture, as you just said, Numenorean architecture, but with fish scale motif.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's hone in on that. All right.
Okay. Yes.
One of the big questions that our Discord had was fish scale motif. The rails feel elvish. So is this Numenorean fish scales or is it elvish?
Good question. Very good question.
Folks, let me answer that for you.
Tukish says that he thinks it's very high elven.
Well, let's go to Peter Jackson's movie. And what is this in the corner on the top right?
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
That is ripped straight from Peter Jackson's
right there in
design.
The whole upper right quadrant of this picture.
Look at that. So is Rivendell inspired by Numenor?
Thank you for the chatter who says that's high elvish deco. Instead of Art Deco, it's high elvish deco. I like that. That's okay.
So
okay.
Has there been any hint that Rivendell was inspired by Numenor?
No.
Okay,
no.
That answers that, folks.
No connections to that.
So we can definitively, based on that alone, say that this is 100% elvish architecture, not Numenor inspired. So let's go back to the thing.
We see. I had been unaware of how the people deduced it was Arondir, and how did we arrive at that? How did we arrive at that deduction?
We'll get to that in a second. Sun rising in the east, or setting in the west. Cliff, is that even a sun, or is that the light of a tree?
Unknown.
What is your best guess?
If it is something on the west coast of Numenor, where the faithful were residing in the northwestern quadrant of the island, then maybe that is looking east towards Valinor. Maybe that's not the sun. No.
Is that the light of the trees?
No, the light of the two trees was extinguished by the time Valinor existed. So
we know that the trees exist in the show. Period.
Right,
so
but I'm trying to say very carefully that if this was Numenorian and the person in the tower was Numenor, then it could not possibly be the two trees. It would just be the regular sunrise.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
All
okay?
Right. I believe it's sunrise too, not sunset, because sunset is much more orange. Farmland. We already talked about farmland, which is true to Mordor, an arable land. This is clearly a construction, not a natural tower. Check out the cool mechanical elements.
Okay, yeah, what's that?
So I think these mechanical elements are just holding up the thing, because if we go...
What if that's how you access the tower, is by climbing through that harness?
No.
That might be a climbing harness.
This is the stairs right here. You can see the stairs.
You can?
This starts to bend down. This is the stairways on the left. That's how you get up there.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Okay.
There's probably a circular... stairwell going around. But this is definitely built. It is definitely elvish.
Sorry, Queen Mel.
So if we determine that this is elvish architecture, does this place it in Numenor? Did the elves build in Numenor?
The elves did not build in Numenor. The Numenorians built in Numenor, learning, I'm sure, adapting some techniques from their kinship with the elves.
We know
there's a lot of interchange and a lot of commerce.
Let's squash the maybes. This is an elf on an elf tower with elf architecture. This means it is not Numenor. So that means, in my best guess, this is Mordor.
And that's an elven watchtower on Mordor before it was Mordor?
Yeah. All signs point to the land of Mordor. This is elvish architecture with an elf in it, looking at arable land with a long mountain range. And you just said the elves did not build in Numenor. So we can X out Numenor, we can X out the trees, and
obviously, yes.
So that's my final answer. We are looking at Numenor.
You mean we're not looking at Numenor?
No, we're not looking at Numenor. We're looking at Mordor.
Okay, if you're looking at the south of Mordor, then I want to understand from a story point, why would the elves need to build a watchtower in a place? Okay.
Well, now we're getting into story. But here's the other reason I think this is Mordor.
Yeah.
You ready?
Right.
This is why. Because we have been shown so very little. Because we saw this.
Yes.
And the light of the two trees.
Well,
Those are two trees over there, folks.
That's the city of Tirion.
So that's
upon the hill. That's the city of Tirion on Tuna.
And that is Numenor.
And that is definitely Numenor. Absolutely. That's confirmed.
So we've got Numenor.
That's confirmed.
We've got the first land of the elves.
Right.
And then we've got the future land of Sauron.
Well, then I find it intriguing to see what Mordor was like before it became Mordor. That's very intriguing. But I'm also curious about why is we know all about the watchtowers that were built by Gondor and the kingship of Gondor and even maintained by later kings of Gondor. But I don't know why the early elves would build a tower in areas around Mordor, and I wonder why. I just wonder why they would do that before it was even Mordor. Well, I guess we'll find out, won't we?
Won't we find out? But so can we kind of put a button on, I believe, with all of those points of reference.
Sure.
We're looking at an elf tower over Mordor.
Intriguing that other fans noticed the 8-pointed star in the geometry of that tower's shape.
Yeah.
An 8-pointed star. That's cool. And I appreciate that everybody's got their, speculations all lined up. I myself am wondering if Mordor is going to be presented as a place, and we're going to look at what could have been. Maybe the storytellers want us to understand what the region was like before Sauron comes in and ruins everything.
Do you think, has Sauron taken root in Mordor just yet?
At this point in the story?
Ignoring the thousands of years and stuff like that, just dealing with the time compression, do you expect Sauron to already have roots there?
No, I expect that would be a late season development, like later seasons.
Season 2 or 3, yeah.
Or 4.
Or 4.
Yeah, season 3 or 4 maybe is when we'll get to see Mordor transformed. And maybe that is the overall point.
All right,
the point is to see the early version and then see the horrifying transformation.
All right, so you've seen the lands of elves, the lands of Numenor, and now we think the land of Mordor. We might get an official confirmation from Empire in their article on Thursday. We don't know. But let's move on. Folks, top of mind today is, what does an elvish forge master look like? And folks, this is what they look like. These are the expert elvish craftsmen.
Yes.
What did they do there?
They were reforging the shards of Narsil and to remaking it into the Flame of the West, known as Anduril.
Let me ask you, would this assignment of reforging Narsil be assigned to any elf maker, or would they only assign the best?
Only the best.
Only the best.
To reforge the sword that was broken. Only the best. Only the best.
So, folks, how did those guys look? Their hair is in ponytails because their hair is long. Both of them.
Indeed.
Right?
Indeed.
Would forge masters have long hair? Yes, they would. Yes, they would.
Yeah.
They would pound hammer
on anvil to work the metal into its proper shape.
Look at. They've got layers upon layers. They've got leather protection,
of course,
for their arms.
Absolute blacksmith gear.
They've got gloves over leather, and then fireproof cloth.
Yeah.
And long hair. Long hair. They might have put it in a bun sometimes.
Well,
folks.
that is one of the and with all the other fan art that has been based around elvish smiths and elvish blacksmiths and smithies, Yeah, we're used to looking at something different. And look at Celebrimbor.
This is the Forge Master.
Here is the Forge Master of the rings, the man who made the rings.
This is the ring. Is it, Cliff? Is this what you imagined? A master ring forger?
Well, no, of course. Now, Laswen is correct in pointing out that this is not an image of him about to go into the forge. So he's not wearing his gear. This is not where he's in the act of being in the environment. He's actually in his regular day clothes. But, yeah, that costume, it surprised me a little bit because I suddenly...
Did it?
You know what I thought of when I saw that?
What did you think of?
I thought of Carol Burnett getting into that green dress made from the curtains in that spoof of Gone with the Wind.
Oh,
where
boy.
She's Scarlett O'Hara in the whole dressed in the curtains. And she's got the curtain rod behind her. And I honestly thought of the costuming, and I couldn't think of anything else. I couldn't think of anything else but Carol Burnett in the the Gone with the Wind sketch. I'm sorry, but that's all I could think of. I'm so sorry. But it's the curtains. It just looks like curtains to me. Oh, my gosh.
Curtains.
I'm sorry.
Curtains.
It is very rare for me to lose my... I'm losing a little bit of my composure. I'm sorry, everybody. But I'm excited about this actor. This actor,
Hold on. Before you go further on that.
He's a great actor, Charles.
Let me show you what...
Charles Edwards. Is that his name, right?
Let me show you what other people said about the reveal of Celebrimbor.
Tammy, you're onto something. Maybe that's his bathrobe.
Someone compared him to Elon Musk and his little weird hair comb over. Elon makes cars like this dude makes rings.
Oh, gosh.
Elon doesn't actually physically make the car.
No, he does not.
He owns the company that makes the cars.
That's
the whole
correct.
point of this joke is that this guy looks like a business owner that owns the company that makes rings. Is it possible that this guy is just a franchise business owner and he's got a bunch of smiths around Middle-earth? So he's not necessarily the best forger himself, ring maker himself. He's just the best business.
No, that is not what Tolkien wrote. No.
Is it?
No, that is such nonsense. No, that is not the case.
You know,
right.
the number...
Let's look at the next one.
The number 2 was, this dude looks like Conway Twitty.
Conway Twitty.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Conway Twitty.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Conway Twitty.
Mr. Conway Twitty.
No, he does.
Other people said he looks like a televangelist.
Oh, gosh.
Preaching, asking for your money, promising wealth, power, and everlasting life. And they're not wrong. His rings do promise wealth and power and everlasting life.
Okay, that's funny.
Madge DeRee says, I don't get the hate for this look. We're just having fun.
I'm not hating it.
We're not hating it.
I think
we're having fun.
I think he's really cool, but I couldn't help humorous. Maybe it was unnecessary for me to do that, and I apologize to the audience, and I apologize to the actor, but especially
look.
It's the costume design.
Remember
the
Marlon
costume
Brando's
design made me think of that.
Costume for
oh my gosh, Marlon Brando and that high collar.
And that hair.
Yes.
And that hair.
Yes.
Oh yeah, son of Krypton, son of Feanor. Remember when Doctor Who went old and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh."
Oh, that was Vince Capaldi, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, Peter. Excuse me. Peter Capaldi.
How dare you?
I'm sorry, Peter Capaldi. Yes, he does a little bit like a doctor.
I loved Peter
Capaldi's look like the
Doctor Who. So
me too.
And then of course.
This is my favorite. This is my favorite. I fell down to the burning ring of fire.
Here's the thing. Someone in chat, people in chat room were like, I can't believe people are making fun of this look. I think here's my opinion on the reveal of Celebrimbor here. I just got done watching Morbius. And
you did not.
And all the memes.
Did not.
It's Morbin time.
It's Morbin time.
As I'm concerned,
I can't even.
It is Brimbor time.
I can't even.
We're going to meme the heck out of this show, and it starts with Celebrimbor. This is our Morbius moment, where we start to meme the heck out of this show, and maybe that'll make it cooler. Maybe they will release it in theaters again, like they did Morbin Time.
Thank you, Dr. Nosy. Bathroom slippers to go with that.
So
yes.
I'm just saying, like, I think we've all taken this show way too seriously. And I think Lord of the Rings...
There's something to that.
Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit movies were their best when they were memes. Remember the meme, one does not simply drive into Mordor?
Yes.
Yes. You know, and remember all the memes, the second breakfast memes, everything.
Yes.
I think we've taken this show way too seriously.
Yes.
And we've reached our moment where it's not necessarily ridiculous, but it's time to have fun. This is your Ringmaker.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down to have fun, but this is your Ringmaker, and I just think that it might have been more impactful. This is just one man's opinion.
Okay.
But if they'd given an image of Celebrimbor looking like he was a craftsman, a smith, with the gear, we're talking the gloves,
context,
the hammer, the anvil, the heat of the bellows behind him, you know? The heat of the fire and the bellows right behind him, and the tongs and the instruments of his craft. That would have been the image that would have really been impactful.
Here's the thing.
I guess, but
none of my family...
That's just me.
My family loves Lord of the Rings, and we watch it every Christmas. But they don't know who Celebrimbor is.
Right.
And I want to get them hype. I show them this photo of Celebrimbor. This photo does not tell them anything of what Celebrimbor is or does or how important he is to the whole story.
Now, this is
no
intriguing.
Context to this.
No, the context, a lot of Tolkien fans already know that Gil-galad got face-to-face almost, let's just rephrase that. Gil-galad and Elrond got Anatar coming up to their door, knocking on the door, saying, Avon calling, and they gave him the bum's rush. And they shut the door in Sauron's face and said, Anatar, no more. Because Gil-galad saw through it. Elrond was like, no, that's not cool. But that Celebrimbor guy is the gullible one. I hate to boil it down and be so reductive. Maybe it isn't inappropriate, but reductively speaking, Celebrimbor is the guy who opened up the door to that used car salesman and said, come on in, teach me the ring making. While Gil-galad had the wisdom and the foresight to say, no, you're not coming here to Lindon. You are not coming to Lindon. Stay out of my kingdom.
Wait, tell me where Celebrimbor is supposed to be on this map.
In the lands of Eregion, right here. Right here, in Eregion. Immediately outside the west gate of Khazad-dûm. Right there. Do you see this little triangle of land in between where the Gwathlo then branches off to the Bruinen, okay? And that is the river that Frodo had to get across with the Nazgul chasing on his ass, so close behind him. That is the Bruinen. But the Bruinen River comes down and meets the Glanduin. And the Glanduin River makes this triangle of land, and right there at the bottom, near the Glanduin, is Ost-in-Ithil, the city where most of the commerce, a lot of commerce, trade, and craftsmanship going on between the elves in the city and going up this path to Khazad-dûm, which is right there, the entrance. And I hope we get to see the park.
Khazad-dûm is Moria.
Yeah, future Moria.
Hey, the chat room keeps mentioning Narvi. Isn't that a little thing in Zelda? What's a Narvi?
Narvi was the friend, the dwarf, whom had a very friendly relationship, and they carved the doors of Moria. The one that has Gandalf saying Melon to open up those doors.
Yeah, the magic doors.
Those doors, which is technically the west gate of Moria, was created and crafted by Narvi working with Celebrimbor.
Did he have anything to do with the rings?
Narvi? I don't know. That's an interesting question. I don't think so.
Do you think because we see
Yeah,
Celebrimbor,
Narvi helped make the Doors of Durin. Yes, that's right.
do you think we will see the making of the Doors of Durin?
Yes. Durin the Deathless says Celebrimbor's dwarven BFF.
Okay.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Oh, Varking is opining that Narvi probably made the rings and Celebrimbor took the credit. That's funny. That's very, very funny.
So, where is it?
Dr. Nosy, you're hilarious. Dr. Nosy found some.
All right, so
that's really funny.
Cliff,
a link to a maternity dress.
Let me ask
hilarious.
you this: we all had fun taking a look at this guy, Celebrimbor. You've been hype on Celebrimbor for the last 2 years. Is this what you had in mind?
No, this is not what I had in mind, and I would like to respond to the Kurdish LOTR nerd because it is a very intriguing point. Why does Celebrimbor look older than Galadriel?
Isn't he older? He makes the rings.
No, she's older. She's older than him.
Why would she be older? She's like, what?
She would be thousands. She's thousands of years older. But I mean, it's just an interesting casting thing that she she definitely looks more youthful, and she could stand to look his age, you know. But I do understand that the age.
Galadriel looks the age appropriate as she should because she's the same age as Kate Blanchett was.
Dr. Nosy says they're the same age in the books. I stand corrected.
Celebrimbor
and Galadriel are the same age?
This is by artist Angus McBride. This is a painting of Celebrimbor. Is this what you had in mind, Cliff?
Yeah.
You old horn dog? That's what you want?
That isn't a no, please. I mean, he doesn't have to look like Conan the Barbarian.
He looks like Fabio in this.
He looks like Conan the Barbarian.
Is this what people want?
Not necessarily.
Is this what... Come on. Like, the reaction has been near unanimous, making fun of the green-robed curtain wearer, Celebrimbor. Is this what you guys had in mind?
You're funny. You're so funny.
No, seriously, Cliff, tell me. Is this what everybody's had in their mind's eye for the last 30 years? 40 years? 50 years? Like the...
Ooh.
I don't think Celebrimbor should be hotter than Sauron.
Thank you, Falderas, in Discord, saying that Galadriel is a generation older than Celebrimbor as per the nature of Middle-earth. Thank you for that.
Sarah says, yes, it is. That is exactly what they wanted out of Celebrimbor.
You know what? He doesn't have to look like he's built like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, but I do like seeing him in the leather apron with the fiery forge and the tongs and all the other people around him being like, whoa, what the hell is he doing? He's making magic rings. That's intense. Yeah, so I really do appreciate this artwork, and there's something about the artist in this representation of Celebrimbor that makes a much bigger impact for the role he played in the history of Middle-earth. It really is impactful.
See,
sorry, that's just the way it is.
You know what Peter Jackson did well, and the marketing of Peter Jackson is he took inspiration from Ralph Bakshi and all the artists that it came before.
Yes,
and the reveal of Aragorn with the smoke, with the pipe in the shadow of the corner of the prancing pony, that was ripped out of previous art. When the hobbits are under the log, that scene was in the trailer. That was ripped from previous art. Peter Jackson and New Line Cinema had taken what had come before and made it their own, but then used that then used that so we would have a kind of nostalgic reference. And so Amazon had the opportunity to recreate this iconic painting.
You know what? I get a feeling that
all they needed to do was send a photographer to set and spend a couple hours and just shoot this. That actor in this pose, done.
Yep, that's all they needed to do. But I have a sudden realization that just came to me.
Okay.
What if they haven't shot any of those scenes and it doesn't exist? Maybe all that stuff is season 2. Maybe Celebrimbor isn't even going to be introduced to us properly, making any damn thing on any forge, period. Maybe that's all stuff that is being saved. And if therefore, there's no costuming, no set pictures, and there's no footage, then maybe they don't have an image of him making any rings. And that's what they're just giving us as a teaser image? Maybe. Maybe they're saving Celebrimbor for later season. I don't know.
I have some green dragon
I don't
gossip.
even know.
My green dragon gossip on Celebrimbor is he is not a major player in season 1.
Oh, so you've been hearing that.
I've heard that the number of shoot days that he was on set, that actor was on set as Celebrimbor, was insignificant compared to almost all the other leads.
Oh, so my instincts were just telling me that instinctually, and now you've been hearing the rumors confirming that.
So you're...
Okay.
I think in your mind, for the last few months, the Rings of Power show is about Sauron and a ring maker, Celebrimbor, creating the Rings of Power. That's a safe assumption. In season 1, I'm told that he does not have a lot to do, and they're here to introduce him.
Oh.
And he will pay off majorly in future seasons.
Well, he will have to pay off majorly when he gets a pike stuck through his abdomen and his body is carted up in the air and marched around the destroyed city of Ost-in-Ithil. Oh, sorry. Spoilers. Big spoiler warning for everybody, but sorry, Celebrimbor, we know what's happening.
Do you guys want spoilers, Cliff? I haven't shown you these.
Oh, whoa! I haven't seen that yet. That's cool.
Courtesy of our pals at Fellowship of Fans, we have...
Thank you, Lady Nico.
This is the issue of Empire Magazine. We got Fellowship of Fans got an early copy of the Empire issue of Lord of the Rings, and these are not photos you're supposed to see yet. Here they are. That is the Harfoots and the Man on Fire.
This is migrating hobbits, or proto-hobbits, but they are migrating people. Now, this is definitely what Tolkien was talking about in the appendices, saying that they didn't learn their letters, they just had oral tradition of their history, but they were migrating. They were migrating and did not find a place
but they did put
where
down
to settle
roots.
down.
They did put down roots enough to farm the land.
In
season.
Nomadic. That's right, Cecilia.
Here's another photo
Nomadic.
from Empire Magazine, courtesy of Fellowship of Fans, of our favorite Prince Durin the Fourth.
Oh yeah.
And his queen-to-be, Dissa. Remember, the only female dwarf that Tolkien ever officially named was named Dis, D-I-S. So her name, Dissa, is as close to Tolkien as you can be.
Dissa.
There is another hero shot of our short-hair Elrond. Speaking of short-hair Celebrimbor.
That is Robert Arameo.
That is Robert Arameo as Elrond. And what is this, Cliff?
Oh, hello. This is Gil-galad putting some kind of a crown on Morfydd Clark as Galadriel.
With her full shiny armor.
Wow, this is totally a scene in Linden. Remember that overhead shot that we had in the Super Bowl teaser? That overhead shot where we're looking, right down there, and there's beautiful leaves, and there are elves gathering on the edge of this cliff.
Looking up.
And there's a big tree, and there's a stone platform on the edge of the cliff, and a beautiful view of the drop off the edge of the cliff on the side. And there they are under that same tree. Okay, that's the same spot in Linden.
So who are these elves? When does this take place? First age? Second age? Does this happen after Numenor has fought? What are we talking about?
No.
When does she get a crown like this?
No, this couldn't happen after Numenor has fallen, because that's going to be late season 5, dude. And they haven't filmed any of that.
Okay, so when is this?
I am not sure if this is a flashback to First Age, but if it's in the early Second Age, then it's in Linden, where maybe Galadriel is arriving in Linden for the first time. I don't know. Maybe she's been running around.
Durin, I just want to shut down the wedding to Celeborn. I'm telling you, Galadriel is not getting married for another few seasons.
Oh, okay.
Galadriel is going to be young and fun And I know you hate that, and I know you hate that.
Me? I don't hate nothing.
You hated when every time I said Riverdale in Rivendell.
Oh, you're talking about the unnecessary trope of youth fiction, you know?
I think she dates. I think Galadriel dates until she walks in on Celeborn.
No, I'm going to say this very clearly, and I'm going to say it categorically to anybody who will listen. None of us, especially not me, but none of us are interested in the cheap, overused tropes of YA fiction. We don't want the Riverdale romance. We don't want the, Harry Potter has a crush on Cho Chang in his 5th year. We don't want any of the teen romance nonsense in this TV series.
Sit down, old man. I do. You got a gray beard for a reason.
I'm telling you.
I want that. I do want that. I'm not even being sarcastic.
No.
Let Galadriel date.
No dating, no YA tropes. There better not be any YA. I mean, it's a cheap form.
It is not cheap.
It is a cheap form of
growth.
Writing. And
do you think elves get bored after living eternally?
Hashtag,
of course they're going to get bored.
Hashtag fidelity to Tolkien. Professor Tolkien didn't have her sitting in a burger joint having a date with somebody and then change her mind and go and hang out with Celebrimbor later on.
Goodness.
Or with Celeborn, rather. I meant to say Celeborn. No.
I get it that she falls in love at first sight with Celeborn. That doesn't mean that she hasn't tried in the last 10,000 years since the light of the trees.
Nope.
Kaylin Griffin, I've lost Kay.
You've lost everybody.
I've lost Kay. Okay, moving on.
Okay.
All right, moving on.
No, we don't. Look, they did it with Tauriel and Keeley. We don't want any Galadriel dating anybody.
This is a close-up of Gil-galad.
If they...
Right? This is a close-up of Gil-galad. And there's another picture of our boy, Ismael Cordova, a.k.a. Arondir. And Tyro... what's his name? Theo? We don't know how to say it yet.
Everyone is reminding us about her getting married to Celeborn in the first age. So thank you very much for everybody reminding us of that. But this is a great picture of Ismael Cruz Cordova. Look at the armor. You can see that is the armor we looked at on that teaser poster.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So what else we got? We showed you that. We showed you that.
You know that
there's a close-up photo of the I can't talk about what you guys. I forget what you guys have seen or not. Fellowship of Fans announced who that was. I forget who he said.
You know that? Look at that golden laurel wreath in his hair.
Yeah.
That is so classically Greek. There's a very interesting Greek design of having that laurel of golden leaves.
Hey, there was a comment in the chat room right now, Cliff.
That's really cool.
Someone in the chat room said it feels like they skimped out on the costume and styling. I disagree with that, but I'd love to hear Cliff's opinion. Does any of this feel cheap?
No, it doesn't look as bad as The Witcher season 1. There's nothing as bad as the season 1 of The Witcher, where you can tell the costumes and even the torch stanchions behind the actors were like obviously cheap rentals from the local prop house. Really, nothing handmade or handcrafted. The Witcher looked like a bunch of cheap rentals from the prop house. These things don't look like cheap rentals. They just look like unusual choices. Some of them are unusual choices for costuming, such as
look at this early photo of Arondir with his full-on elf ear. He does look like torn cloth and everything. Again, this is from courtesy of Fellowship of Fans, who got a early copy of the Empire magazine that you will see on newsstands and online on Thursday. That is a cool picture. He's my favorite. I'm telling you, he's my favorite. And there are more Harfoots.
With lots of plants. All the plants in their hair. lots of leaves and twigs and flowers and
Do
plants.
you like that?
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Why do you like that? I'm not a fan, but I'd love to hear why you like their styling.
It's slightly suggestive of pagan elements, you know.
Interesting.
It is slightly suggestive of, to me, in my mind, the earliest people on the Anglo-Saxon Isles who, in their worship of the earth and the deities of the earth, would always have representations of nature, flowers, and I'm talking about a slightly green man. You know, the green man and his image in a classic paganism. So there's a certain green man quality to that armor that Ismael Cruz Cordova has. There is a suggestion of the face of the green man. And I see all the twigs and flowers in their hair, and it just kind of gives me a feeling of them being super earthy and kind of pagan, that they're connected to earth elements and plant elements. That's the first thing that
Interesting.
That's the first idea that I got from that, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So you're sold on the Harfoots.
I think it's pretty cool, actually. What they're going to do with the characters, with the writer's perspective, is a little bit wobbly because, they weren't there until Tolkien says in the appendices that they migrated over the Misty Mountains, like in the Third Age, but that was only when they started appearing in the history books of other people. So let's see how the writers of the series are going to get Harfoots and all these characters running around and doing impactful things hold on. How are they going to do things impactful as characters, and then the elves are going to decide not to record them? And the elves would not write them down.
No one records them.
Yeah, no one writes them down. So I'm interested in why the writers are going to put them in the show, and yet they have to be kept off stage. Off stage historically, because the Noldor would not have written about them until the Third Age. And we know that from the appendices.
So let me ask you this. Do you like this?
Right.
Do you like this as much as
That's right.
this?
That's right. Sarah says the whole point of the Hobbits is that they fly under the radar. Yep, you're right, Sarah. It's going to be intriguing to see in the narrative construct how they fly under the historical radar.
This is most exciting to me. This look at Harfoots with Lenny Henry.
Yeah, Lenny Henry's fantastic.
This is what I imagined a proto-Hobbit looks like.
Yeah, he's a legend. Lenny Henry is such a legend.
But even the brief descriptions that Tolkien makes of Harfoots in the Fellowship of the Ring prologue.
That's
indeed. This is it.
Hello, Fellowship of Fans, and thank you so much, brother, for joining us on the show. And he says, correctly, we shouldn't see any significant interactions with the Harfoots between elves or men. And Fellowship of Fans, thank you for joining me in alignment on that point, because if they did really significant things, bam, they would appear in the annals of history. And Tolkien lets us know that they were under the radar, and they really didn't show up in the historical records until the Third Age. So I am intrigued. I'm very intrigued by what they're going to do with these characters.
But
I'm very intrigued.
I do think the Fellowship of Fans chose his words wisely and said interactions with men.
Yeah.
Men.
Well, the conceit is that Professor Tolkien is giving us the history of the ring from Frodo and Bilbo's point of view from the Red Book, and other histories in the Silmarillion are from the elves' point of view. And some of it is from the men, the male and female human mortal men of Numenor writing the Akalabeth from their point of view. Some of those bits are from elves, some are from the men point of view.
I've heard that Meteor Man.
But, yeah.
I've heard the Harfoots discover Meteor Man. And then Meteor Man has a piece of paper, and then Lenny Henry here as a Harfoot discovers a piece of paper or a map that he cannot read because Harfoots don't read or write.
Right.
And so he goes looking for elves and dwarves that he knows can read the map.
Of course, yeah, okay.
And so
that tracks.
So I think that there will be interactions with elves and dwarves, but not men.
Oh, I see.
I think that
intriguing.
And that's where the careful use of language with Fellowship of Fans in the chat room.
Intriguing.
So
I love that Lady Nico said that the Sill is just elvish propaganda. Yeah, the Silmarillion definitely. The elves telling history from their point of view, very specific. I appreciate that.
We saw this ice troll in the trailer, in the Super Bowl trailer. Oh, one other thing about this photo that I think is Mordor now.
Yeah.
People were right to point out that it's straight out of Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Oh, look at that. That is Legend of Zelda. Yes.
Come on, guys. I do appreciate if the visual artists at ILM and Weta got inspiration from Breath of the Wild. So I do appreciate that. The memes continue.
Right.
The memes continue. I'm telling you, we haven't had enough fun memeing this show into existence.
There's going to be some really fun memes.
We're just starting. We're just starting.
Yeah, I've got to put up a picture of Carol Burnett in the curtains dress right next to Celebrimbor, and let's see how that meme goes. Let's see how that goes.
The final picture we want to talk about today that Empire has released early is this photo, and it's just a behind the scenes. You can see a microphone at the top of the screen. They have microphones in Middle Earth, supposedly, and they have RE cameras in Middle Earth, supposedly. But Cliff, there's one thing I wanted to the internet pointed out, and I want your opinion.
Yes, please.
In Lord of the Rings,
yes,
Galadriel famously gives Frodo a vial that is a light in dark places.
Phial. The Phial of Galadriel. Phial. Thank you.
Fine.
Okay.
Why?
Okay.
So tell me, Cliff. Tell me, Clifford Broadway.
Yes.
Why does Galadriel, Lady of Light, need a torch?
Okay. Cute. I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
Go ahead, Mr. Expert, Phial expert. Why does the Lady of Light need a torch?
Because the Phial of Galadriel does not exist at this point in history. And she's stuck in some bloody cave somewhere. And you know what?
I thought her hair is bright enough to light the thing. I thought she had the light, her being
That's
and
hilarious.
presence.
Okay, look. All right. The thing is, we're going to get these...
You're telling me she gets extra superpowers later in life? She has to accomplish quests to get the Phial of Light and to brighten her hair and everything. You're telling me that Galadriel actually is on a quest to kit out everything?
Basically, I'm going to tell you that those important things that show up in the Third Age are probably going to be left to the end of Season 5. Okay, I'm talking about literally the rings being distributed, 3 of them to the elves, hidden, the other 7 rings to different dwarven lords, and taken to different places. And her actually deciding in the end that her and her husband, Celeborn, want to go to Lothlorien and create her own domain. That's going to be late Season 5.
All I have to say is...
And then we'll see the Phial of Galadriel, I'm sure, at some point.
Galadriel has a dagger. She has a broadsword. She's got the Master Sword on her back. She's got a flame. Could she complete Elden Ring on her own? She doesn't have the powers yet.
Yeah, this is junior level Elden Ring Galadriel. Yeah, I'm sure.
But so I guess the question is, if this is young Galadriel and this is junior Galadriel, is it true to Tolkien that she isn't as powerful in the Second Age? Because I think a lot of fans on the internet argue that she is in the Second Age what we see in the Third Age. She's just already powerful and she's already old.
Yeah, she was already very powerful and thousands of years old, but at the end of the Second Age, when Galadriel actually got her hands on one of the 3 elven rings, her power and the way that she used it changed dramatically.
Vonatar says she's more powerful in the Second Age. How would that be?
That's an intriguing concept. Vanatar, we should actually get down into the nitty-gritty of this idea, because from where I'm sitting, I really would have thought that Galadriel, who would eventually become the Lady Galadriel, the Lady of Lothlorien, would have more power at her fingertips. Sorry for the bad pun. But she would have more power at her fingertips after being given that elven ring. But that's just my ideas. But
anyway, so all of the discussion was around Celebrimbor here.
Yes.
And I think the response is because the people in the chat room are split. You know, a lot of people are like, he looks fine. It's okay. He looks fine. I think the problem is that we had been prepared emotionally for Elven Smiths to look like this.
Yes.
To look like this. Long hair, in a ponytail, with a bunch of protective gear.
Because that's what I wanted. That is what I wanted to see. Yes.
So it's you know. Also, I want to remind everybody.
Yes, please remind everyone of how we reacted to the very early marketing images of Richard Armitage dressed up as Thorin Oakenshield.
Warner Brothers. Now, here's the thing about this photo. Warner Brothers had given the One Ring the exclusive.
Yes.
They gave the 13 Dwarves to a bunch of different websites like
Yes.
IGN and Nerdist, but they gave the Thorin Oakenshield reveal to the One Ring. We received this, and we posted it without comment, and the internet went wild because he looks like a Klingon.
That's right, Batleth Thorin. That's right, Vonotar. That's his Batleth that he's holding. That's hilarious.
So, Cliff,
Klingon
did they listen to fans, and did they change his look in the movies?
Not so much. No, that's exactly the way he was in the films. But that photograph and the way his eyes are darkened and shadowed, he does look like a Klingon more than he looks like a dwarf.
I think they did do some digital manipulation and color grading around his eyes and in his hair to brighten him up and make him not look like a Klingon in the final edit of the movie. They did listen to fans and softened him up, as we say in the business. They softened up. So
they did.
The point being is that let your voices be known. I promise you, Amazon is paying attention to all the comments. They have marketing agencies of hundreds of people that probably save every comment and do weekly reports on, like, here's what the internet is saying about our show every week for over a year. So I promise you, internet, that Amazon's listening. So if you don't like anything that you're seeing out of the show, let your voice be heard, because there is still time to change things.
When Enio in the chat says that he was, also mentioned the age difference, that Celebrimbor does look older than Galadriel, and they're both thousands of years old as immortal elves. All I have to say in answer to that is moisturize. Okay? Just moisturize. It helps. There you go. That's why she looks that way. All right?
Cliff, final thought. I like the look of Celebrimbor. He's actually what I imagined a master ring maker and smith would look like. He's got kind of a chiseled face, and he's worn. He's worn. He's older. But the people obsessed with lore will say that Celebrimbor is supposed to be his Galadriel's younger cousin. So, are you sold on Celebrimbor, or should he have been younger?
I would have preferred Celebrimbor looking. It doesn't matter if he looks like he's in his 20s or in his 40s. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. I just want to see Celebrimbor in all that decked out blacksmith gear. That's all I've been asking for, and I'm still waiting. Still waiting. Maybe season 2. Maybe season 2.
You know what the internet also thought?
Tell me.
That Celebrimbor looked like? Prince Humperdinck.
That is so true. That is so true.
And the six-fingered man.
Humperdinck from The Princess Bride. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. Well, that is so funny.
Varking asks, do we think these images are from the first episode only?
Thank you, Matt. Matt, Nerd of the Ring, says 100% a silhouette of Celebrimbor with a hammer in his hand would have been 100% more preferable. Thank you. Thank you.
The short answer is, for many reasons I cannot talk about yet, Varking, the answer, I believe, is yes. all of the photos that you have been seeing, that we are seeing, are in the first 45 minutes of the first episode. So that's what I think.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I think. That everything that we've seen so far, all these photos from Vanity Fair and Empire, are all from early in the show. Anyway, you'll be able to potentially watch the Lord of the Rings 2-hour series premiere in theaters nationwide and worldwide. So get excited about that. I'm telling you, it is the best way to watch this movie, watch this TV show, because if it's good, you guys are everyone in the theater is gonna celebrate.
Indeed.
If it's funny, everyone's gonna go out in the theater and discuss the memes that you're already gonna make.
Right.
And if it's bad, then you have someone to commiserate with. But I'm telling you, seeing Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power together with fans in your local city at a cinema in a dark theater is the best way to do it. And it will prove once and for all,
indeed,
that this show does not look like The Witcher, does not look like Wheel of Time. It doesn't look like cheap fantasy.
Okay.
If you see it on the big screen in 24 frames per second, shot with with film cameras and everything, mastered in 8K by Weta Workshop and ILM, this is going to look like it should. And I think we reported that. This show looks like it should.
I hope so. Because they're throwing all their money at it to make it look great. I hope that it looks great. On the other hand, I also hope that the writer's room, bless their hearts, have been up to the task of adapting J.R.R. Tolkien. Now, don't you have some positive, uplifting messages that you're looking for from the hotline? Do we have any?
I don't. I think I messed up and I got no text messages.
We got no text messages, so I guess we're not.
I got no text messages, so
we're
I don't know.
Not giving away those sunglasses.
I don't know if my notifications are off. All right, if I can't find the messages, maybe they're on my Google Voice account. We'll do this again next week when I figure it out. I thought this was going to work. Cliff, I do want to say that this first photo that they released is from the opening moments of the TV show.
Okay, yeah, I would agree with that.
It's within the first 15 minutes. So within the first 15 minutes of the first episode of Rings of Power, Amazon's going to take us to the light of the two trees. So
I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited for that. Just to see the two trees of Valinor in any representation, even if it's a brief flashback. I'm so down for that.
So final thought, Cliff. This Thursday, Empire Magazine. Make sure you look online. If you don't want to get spoiled, just stay offline on Thursday and Friday. And I believe there will be more things on Friday.
Yes.
So Thursday is a big reveal from Empire Magazine. And maybe Empire. We're going to try to get Empire on the show.
We are. Okay. That'll be intriguing.
Because we had a great conversation with Joanna from Vanity Fair. And so we want to offer to Empire Magazine, for the writers and editors that worked on this Lord of the Rings preview, come on the show and let's talk more. Let's talk more. So
yes, indeed. By all means, come and join us. Let's talk more.
Is your hype level higher now?
After seeing all these images today, my hype level is a little bit higher, and ideally, I've got an analog drawn between Rivendell and Lindon. Lindon is the place where I want to go. I want to go there. I want to hang out in their libraries. I want to hang out with Gil-galad. Lindon is definitely the place that I want to spend some time. It looks really. I'm into it. I'm into this idea of Lindon being like the new Rivendell, you know. But again, I want to tell everybody that we don't want to have any young adult tropes. We don't want any river.
I do.
No Riverdale.
Talk to that camera.
No Riverdale. No Riverdale High School. Cheap.
I do. Don't listen to the old man with the gray beard.
No crappy YA romance.
You know what?
No.
This show is 5 seasons, 50 episodes. They have a clear plan. There's room for you. There's room for me. There's room for Galadriel and her many interests in life. And as we go, I just want to show everybody the Rings of Power. And I found my ring. I told you I found my ring. Right?
Oh, my goodness.
So there you go.
That's right, Matt. Friends don't let friends do tropes. Thank you, Nerd of the Rings. I really appreciate you.
I got my ring. My final thought is Amazon, you're doing all this marketing. You do plan to have rings in your rings of power. Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I'd be much happier if you just showed us pictures of rings instead of pictures of people in green sheets. Anyway, Torn Tuesday is live every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific. Sometimes we're here at Scum and Villainy Canteen in Hollywood. It's open to the public now. People are coming in, ordering drinks, ordering good food. Cliff, it was good to see you here today.
I like that Cecilia said, no, Justin, the rings find you. Very wise. You know, once again, I acknowledge the beautiful audience that comes to join us to live chat with us. Everybody out there, thanks for joining us and providing so many fact-checking moments and so many head-checking moments where we can actually stop talking about the wrong thing and get back on track. Thank you for being aligned with us every Tuesday to come and talk and speculate and have a really great time being Tolkien fans. Once again, this is theonering.net signing off on our weekly show, Torn Tuesday. We're going to be back here next week, 5 p.m. Pacific time. You know me, I'm Clifford Broadway. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at QuickBeam2000, and you can also follow us at The One Ring Net on all social channels. Everybody else, I wish you a very safe week. Be kind to yourselves. Be gentle with one another, and have a great week. We'll see you next Tuesday. Until then, buenas noches y buena suerte. Good night, everybody.